Welcome, Lions, to the first review of the 2023 year. Today I'm very excited to bring you Ant-Man Quantumania. Let's get down to business. Welcome back, Lions, to the very first movie review of the spring semester, and the brand new movie on the block is Ant-Man Quantumania. So, is it good or not?
I mean, it's alright,
While I don't dislike the movie, Marvel can do so much better. I just feel like Marvel is in this weird state where they get so stuck in their formula that they're incapable of putting out a bad movie, I think,
Are you sure about that?
That is one big pile of shit.
But I also think they're incapable of putting out an incredible movie. It's like most movies that come out in Phase 4, they're either just mid or sometimes kind of bad, except for Black Panther and Spider-Man. Those two were pretty good. Now on to the actual movie itself. Starting off with the star, I think Paul Rudd did an incredible job, and his performance is always the best part about these movies, let's be real. He has a really endearing performance, and I feel like I could just watch him dry paint. Like, he's just that entertaining. His supporting cast was pretty good, and he's got a new supporter in Cassie Lang, which is his daughter. And I don't know, she was alright. I kind of felt the same way about her that I felt about America Chavez in Doctor Strange 2. I don't like her, but I don't hate her. It's just kind of this weird nothingness feeling. Wasp was great, but she took a little bit of a backseat because the story was primarily focused on Scott, Cassie, and Janet. And I do think that these three worked to really anchor the movie, and they all had interesting enough plot lines to keep it going. Jonathan Majors as the villain was dope as expected. Kang is probably the closest thing we're going to get to Thanos since, well, Thanos himself. And honestly, ever since this guy did The Harder They Fall, he's been on my radar, and he's a total breakout star. I cannot wait to see what he does in Creed 3, but you know what? That's for the next review. While it was a little odd that a character this powerful ended up in an Ant-Man movie, I do think that it worked for the most part, and the parts where he shows off his power, he really does. However, I do think that his plotline has one fatal flaw, and we are about to get into spoiler territory, so if you don't like spoilers, skip to this timestamp, and we will skip right past it. Alright, now for the people who have seen the movie, as you know, at the end of the movie, they reveal that there's like billions of Kangs across the multiverse, and essentially Kang isn't really dead. And it really forces the audience to ask the question, what's the point? I mean, we spend the whole movie trying to stop Kang from leaving the quantum realm and essentially just trying to put a stop to his madness. So they finally do that, but then at the end of the movie, they just reveal that there's a million other Kangs. I mean, if you're asking yourself what's the point at the end of a movie, that's really not a good thing to be asking at the end of a film. Now, the one thing I will give this movie an A+ on is creativity. It does have like this Star Wars-esque, like mystifying feel with these worlds and crazy looking characters and this broccoli looking dude. They did a really good job on that, and I do feel like that they put some strong effort I haven't seen in the other Marvel films. And they have some really great shots that can't be overlooked. Granted, most of them are in the trailer, but nonetheless, they are fantastic. What else? Well, Kang's supplemental villain, MODOK, I actually did like. A lot of people clown his design online, but honestly, there's no way they could have made MODOK without him looking a little weird, so it's okay. Although that one shot of his butt was very, very out of pocket.
I'm out. I'm not watching this! Look!
I won't go into spoilers, but my favorite thing about MODOK was probably their explanation for how he became MODOK and how it ties into a previous film. I thought that was really well done, and it really ties the franchise together. Now, if you're walking into this movie looking for a good time in terms of laughing and funniness, then I don't think that this is the movie for you, to be entirely honest. It did have a couple jokes that made me laugh, admittedly, but it had plenty of ones that fell kind of flat. Look, if you're a fan of the franchise, you're going to enjoy Ant-Man 3. There's plenty of good things about it to enjoy, but if you're not a fan of the franchise, this movie's not going to change your mind. It struggles from some key issues related to the plot, and it does have some really cheesy dialogue at times, which I didn't get a chance to talk about, but it's there. Overall, I'm going to give this film a B-, and that's only if you're a fan of Paul Rudd. If you're not a fan of Paul Rudd, it's probably more like a C. But I will always encourage you to develop your own thoughts on the movie. So just head down to the theater and check it out if you have time and develop your own thoughts. But until next time, where we're going to review Creed 3, I'm very excited for that one. So, Lions, I'll see you then. Peace out.